So we have set up the Ansible. We have run the Ansible playbook. This is the result of it, and so it tells you that how many things are okay and how many things are actually changed on the other side. So you can verify also. So you can do sub SSH and CDH S1. It is currently running. Now what we need to verify, we can say sudo service IP tables status. So it is not running. Okay, so it was running maybe previously, but since when we run the Ansible playbook, in which we had a thing to stop it, right? This is IP tables status, state is stopped, enabled no, right? So it has stopped. So whole this playbook, everything has run, right? Now we require to install few more things on our master machine, okay, and one of that is MySQL server, this particular server. Why it is required? Because there are multiple components in Hadoop, as well as Cloudera Manager itself can use MySQL server to keep its metadata information. Okay, so in Hadoop we do have Hive, we do have Uzi. There are a lot of components those required to keep the metadata somewhere in RDBMS, in some database, so that they will keep their metadata in that tables of that database. Okay, and then that requires a JDBC connection. So the JDBC driver of MySQL to be given to all those utilities that will use the JDBC connection and store all the metadata information. Okay, so Cloudera Manager, it's also one of them. We also have seen that the Ambari of HTTP 2.5 used PostgreSQL, so that is again a kind of free RDBMS available. So even this Cloudera also comes with a PostgreSQL. Okay, so for that we also require MySQL to be installed. So I will just do sudo yum install MySQL server. Okay, so it is installed. What did you say? I mean, you are asking from where it is installing, right? So it's RPM basically, no .exe. It's RPM of MySQL server. Yeah. So this is the RPM, and it was actually downloading from some site like this. So currently it was down. Okay, so be on mute. So this was the RPM that got downloaded, around 8.6 MB of it from this file. First it tried this one, then it went into error because I think it was down, it was not responding properly. So it tried another mirror from where it got downloaded now. So MySQL server is installed. We can make it on. Prior to that, we may also need root user password file MySQL. We can set it up like that. So this setup mostly similar to what we have done for HTTP 2.5. Okay, so the kind of configuration that is required is similar for both. Now we can jump onto the Cloudera deployment on here. So we are ready with our, what we just need to do is, since we did some changes, okay, we also need to change the host's name, right? So currently if I try to see what is the host name of my machine, and if I say -f, it will tell me the fully qualified domain name. So this should come, okay, for all the machines. So let me jump to SSH CDH S1 and host name fully qualified. So this is again okay. SSH CDH S2 host name -f. This is also okay, good. So we already have the setup. So what we just need to do is we can just do kind of restart of all these machines, because we did several changes. So they require they all require like a restart. So I will just say you can do this from here also, or you can. So let me just do that from here. So basically I will prefer more stop and then start. So they all stopped. Now let me start them. So we now need to connect to this IP. This is a problem. I mean, whenever you restart it, your IP definitely gets renewed. So let me just close this. Start the new one. So the instances are up and running, right? So we just need to check still we are able to ping. So you can just do Ansible -m ping all. It should work without any problem. And yes, so they're all up and running. Everything seems good, right? Now we can start doing our installations. So there are prerequisites, okay, that we can do. So we already have installed MySQL, okay. We can just start it and keep it running, though it is not going to be used by Cloudera Manager. Cloudera Manager will use PostgreSQL still, okay. Now when you I will circulate this document to you, okay. Don't start with here, because on the master machine install Ansible, we already have done it. On all the machine install packages KRB5, OpenLDAP and MySQL server. So MySQL server we have installed on CDHM, our master machine, where that is required. These two things, they are not currently required at this point, because they are related to Kerberos. When we Kerberize our cluster using the Active Directory, these packages are required on all the machines, okay. So that also we can use that also we can deploy using Ansible, okay. So we can create an Ansible playbook. So we will try to use Ansible heavily in order to make it like make it like more, you should be getting very used to it. So to install Cloudera, this is the binary that we will get, okay. So if you try to go to this website CDM, so I will go till here. Not sure whether okay. So you can go to then Red Hat, then Red Hat 6, then this is 64 Cloudera Manager, and here these are all the versions available that you can install in your production, okay. So currently if you open any one of them, so currently it runs on like 5.14, so it is like too heavy. We are still using 5.9.3. After that 5.9, 5.11, 5.12, 5.13, and then 5.40. So generally the latest version we don't keep directly on the production because it is yet to be fully tested. So one version prior we can easily go till that. So why we will start with 5.93? Because we can now see that how to upgrade the 5.93 to 5.10. Okay, so upgradation is also one of the activities that admin do, and mostly like every 6 or 8 months now and then they keep releasing the newer version of either HTTP or Hortonworks or Cloudera. Okay, and then your business requires you to upgrade the overall version of either Cloudera, and then suppose if you are running a 1,000 node cluster, this upgradation requires a very basically it requires a lot of things to be managed. Okay, so that we will see how to upgrade it. When install Cloudera, okay, so we will say that later. Once we need to first get the Cloudera Manager, and through Cloudera Manager we will install these versions of Cloudera. So currently when you say CM, it means Cloudera Manager. So we are inside Cloudera Manager 5, Red Hat 6, 86, and now if we open CDH 5.9, sorry, this one, if you open it, you will find some repo data, some index MPL. Just go to the RPMs 286, 84. So these are all Cloudera Manager agent, daemons, Cloudera Manager server, Cloudera Manager. So just like we had Ambari server, Ambari agents. So here also there is a Cloudera Manager and Cloudera Manager server and Cloudera Manager agent. So agent needs to be installed on all the nodes, and Cloudera Manager server will be installed on one node from where you will monitor the whole cluster from. Okay, so that server will be used in order to install the Cloudera complete package, no matter if it would be 1,000 nodes. Okay, so when you see this document, we are actually saying wget. So wget is the command through which you can download from internet on directly using command line of Linux. Okay, so when I say sudo wget, and if I give this IP address or not website address, so inside 5.9.3 we do have Cloudera Manager installer bin. So inside 5.9.3, inside 5.9.3 we do have Cloudera Manager installer bin CM. So we need to go to installer actually. So we are in CM5, then go to installer, then select 5.9.3, and this is the Cloudera Manager installer bin. So you can download it just like from here and then copy it to the Linux, or you can directly do wget. Okay, so when you do wget, you will start, you can easily get it. So what we will do is, we have, I'm just doing this, so enter. So it will connect to this thing, and we have now got our Cloudera Manager installer bin. Okay, so this is more automated way of doing the installation of it, though again it is still depending on your remote repository. That should not be so. When you actually install the Cloudera or Hortonworks, you should create your own local repository. So it means that even if you want to have this like the way we are doing, we need to get this particular file in our local repository, and then we should start doing the things. So once you get that, basically ultimately it is pointing to, now if you open, since we've been, let me get on it. Currently it is binary, so we are not able to see anything around it. So we'll see. Okay, it's bin, so we are not able to see. So once we get that, we just need to change its mode to be executable. Okay, now you will see that it comes in green, so we get all the read write X permission to our user. And then we can start installing it. So Cloudera Manager installer bin, when you start it, it automatically will come up a screen and where you can now do the selection of something, and your Cloudera Manager will be automatically installed. So I will put this. So it will give you this kind of a screen. It says Cloudera Manager 5, Cloudera Manager 5, Cloudera Manager readme. The Cloudera Manager installer enables you to install Cloudera Manager and bootstrap an entire CDH cluster, requiring only that you have SSH access to your cluster's machines. And that, so this is what actually you just need to read. The Cloudera Manager installer will automatically detect the operating system on the Cloudera Manager host, install the packages repository for Cloudera Manager and the runtime environment JRE, install the JRE, install and configure an embedded PostgreSQL database, install it in the Cloudera Manager server. Okay, so most of the things it is automatically done. So I will just say next, just press enter, it will be next. And this is end user license, we have read it, say next. And you can just press left or right arrow in order to get to yes or no, and we are accepting the license, so yes, enter and do next. What it says on I am saying yes, and then it started installing the Cloudera Manager. So it says that point your web browser to http CDH m27180, log into Cloudera Manager with username admin and password is also admin to continue installation. So this is just like we had installed Ambari server. So it started on port 8080. We went there and then we start creating our cluster of pseudonode, right? So here the Cloudera Manager is started on port 7180. Okay, so I will say okay. Installation was successful, say okay. Now you just need to do sudo and try to check. So I will say net state minus nltp, try to grab 7180. So sometimes it will take some time to come up. So currently, though it said that it is started, but still, you know, the Cloudera Manager is doing some kind of backend work in order to create some metadata information in PostgreSQL, and then ultimately it will start. It will take few minutes. Okay, so now if you see, it is now listening. So this 7180 port, our Cloudera Manager is up and running. Okay, how to hit through website? Pick the external IP address of your machine where we have installed this thing. Go here and say 7180. That's it. And now our server instance that is running on cloud, we are actually now able to connect through our local machine. And when you put admin as user ID and password to Cloudera Manager, go log in into it, and you see, welcome to Cloudera Manager, and you can now start, you know, creating the cluster into it. So you can start, you can accept and accept the end user license and terms and condition, and then you're good. So what we'll do is